By the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey, why don't you take a minute?
When you help care for a loved one, you give them as much time as you can. But it's just as important to take time for yourself. AARP can help. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving. That's aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Donna from Louisiana. The storm just hit, and we went from donating to the food bank to needing it.
Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job?
Not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
Or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them?
By their clothes?
Their age?
The way they speak. Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
America, your children have an amazing superpower. They can help save lives by not having play dates. That's right. By replacing get-togethers with virtual play dates and video chats, they can help slow the evil spread of germs. And if your superheroes do go outside, make sure they continue their superhero wing by staying 6 feet away from others to protect everyone in America land. Find out more at coronavirus.gov. A message from the CDC and the Ad Council.
I asked what kind of family she wanted. She said, a family like yours.
Learn more about adopting a teen at adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Nah. Leading off and in the host seat, he's no longer the sports director, but that doesn't mean you got rid of him. He's the dictionary definition of a five-tool player. If those tools are bad takes, being loud, constantly late, and defending the Reds until the day he dies. Standing 6'2" on a really good day. Weighing $160 soaking wet, here's Shea Neal. Batting second, he's like the leadoff hitter but with less patience. He constantly confuses matches for games. He's a 2-time self-awarded baseball coach of the year, which he will tell you constantly. He might be the worst office basketball player in WWSU history, literally. Standing 5'10", weighing maybe 130, here's Parker Testa. Alright, now that those BS intros are out of the way, let's get on with the show.
What's good, y'all? Happy Monday. We are here in the studio, and it feels good to be back. I'm Shea Neal, alongside with me Parker Testa, live in the WWSU, whatever you want to call it, the Patrick Schmalstick on-air studio, WWSU 106.9. We're back. It feels good.
Yeah, it does. I'm excited to be here. We haven't done a live show in like 2.5 months, almost 3 months, so good to be back here in the studio live. I know last time I was here we did a recorded one, but we're live today, and I'm excited.
Yeah, it's really fun. We moved the show up to 12 to 2, normally 1 to 3, but Parker does have to go back to Indiana after this, so we gave him an extra hour of road time. So we're going to be doing 12 to 2, but we still got 2 hours of jam-packed show to get into. We're going to open up MLB trade deadline, Parker. It's deadline week, and it's already, guns a-blazing in the MLB. Yeah. Nelly Cruz is a Ray. We have, Adam Frazier going to the West Coast. Whit Merrifield could be going to Seattle. I'm excited. A lot of deadline news, and we're going to start that off with the show. Coming up in about 20 minutes or so, ice cream flavor tier list. We've been waiting to do this one because we were waiting for, the right opportunity to have some friends help us out. Unfortunately, Patrick Schmalstick is out of town, and unfortunately, our friend Mackenzie Heffrelin is in a meeting. But we will be joined by our marketing director, Morgan Mulcahy, and she will tell me why I'm wrong in thinking that cookies and cream is better than cookie dough. But I'm excited for that ice cream tier list, man. I mean, ice cream is the best dessert on the planet. There's no doubt.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm a big sweets person, and there's no doubt that my 2 favorite desserts in this world ice cream and cake.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
You
excited.
put them
for
together
this
and
one.
it's lethal.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Hour number 2, we're going to have, I guess we should touch on it because we haven't done a show since it happened. Giannis Antetokounmpo won the championship. The Milwaukee Bucks are champions. That Game 6 performance by Giannis, I sincerely mean it. I don't think of Giannis as a LeBron, Kevin Durant type player. So I understand that LeBron and Kevin Durant have had huge games in the finals, and I don't want to discredit that. But what I saw from Giannis in Game 6, that 50-point game, 14 rebounds, 5 blocks, that was the most dominant big I've ever seen in a finals game since Shaq.
It was. And I think what I love most about that is he goes to Chick-fil-A the next day and orders 50 chicken nuggets.
Chicken minis.
Yes.
Yeah, he goes for breakfast, 50 chicken minis, not 51, not 49. And then what I think he's changing the game in the fact that he went half Sprite, half lemonade. I got to try that the next time I'm at Chick-fil-A.
I do too. It sounds fantastic.
It does. And then my favorite part is, he's live on Instagram. So he's like, he's such a humble, nice dude. So he even asks the employee if it's okay to put her on video. And then she's like, sure. And then he's like, okay, there's 150,000 people watching you right now. And she's like, whoa, really? And I'm like, yeah, you're literally talking to the guy that just won the Finals MVP like 8 hours ago.
And one thing that I loved about this whole story is Giannis didn't go anywhere else.
No.
He had the opportunities to go to LA, to go to New York, to go to the Bay Area to win a championship, but no, he stays loyal to the city he was drafted to.
Yeah.
They built through the draft, and they didn't sign any big name free agents,
right,
unless you count PJ Tucker as a big name free agent, which I don't. But
Bobby Portis, baby.
Yeah, but he comes in and just they win the ship with just building through their drafts.
Yeah.
And I saw a tweet from a Pacers account that I follow that I retweeted it because I loved it. It says, imagine having a star player guide your team in a small market to an NBA championship. Couldn't be us.
Couldn't be us.
And it sums up the Pacers perfectly. But I loved every part of this. This was so much fun to watch.
And I love that we're already freaking 5 minutes into the show and I'm already changing things around. But I think you'll be cool with this. Let's move trade deadline back to hour number 2 because that gives us an hour to see if Whit Merrifield actually goes anywhere. I want to talk about Giannis right now.
Okay, I'm down for that.
I feel like we're already into it, and we only have 10 minutes before we take a break for the tier list. So I think this works out. But I'm excited. Like you said, I think this is just I think this is the most meaningful championship since Dirk. Just because it's two very similar stories. Guys that rode with the same franchise, battled through a lot of adversity, beat a lot of teams that were quote unquote better, and hoist the trophy. And my favorite thing is just Giannis. Giannis is just such a unique superstar. Where a lot of these stars in the NBA came up through AAU, being 5-star recruits, playing at Duke, Kentucky, North Carolina. Having the spotlight on them from the time that they were 13 years old, and that's fine. You've earned that right. You're, one of the best basketball players on the planet. Giannis, struggled growing up. His family didn't make a lot of money. He really kind of had that chip on his shoulder, underdog mentality that he had to be the escape for his family. He had to be what got his family out of the struggle. And the fact that he's just, every single day, I feel like embraced that mentality. He got, his brothers, 3 of his brothers are in the NBA with rings. His other one, a top tier recruit or prospect about to be draft eligible, I think in a year.
Yeah.
But the Antetokounmpo family, it's a movie waiting to happen. It's came from a lot of these athletes in general claim that they came from the bottom, and a lot of times they do. But Giannis Antetokounmpo, you can't even question, came from nothing and turned it into everything. And that's the coolest part of all of this.
It is. And the thing that I loved about this is, the class that Monty Williams has afterwards to go to the Bucks locker room.
Yeah.
To, give his congratulations to, them who.
Right.
I'm not going to say dominated because this was a fun finals.
It
but
was.
those the Bucks really just dominated those last 4 games.
Right. I don't think this is a super hot take. I think Monty Williams outcoached Mike Budenholzer in the finals. I think the difference was Giannis and Middleton outplayed Paul and Booker, and that was, what it came down to. Stars beat stars, and Middleton was a little inconsistent at times, and that's kind of, the MO of Chris Middleton. Somebody tweeted, and I thought it was hilarious, but, Chris Middleton some nights looks like prime Michael Jordan, and other nights looks like prime Kyle Kuzma. And that's pretty much sums it up. I'm not going to lie. I think that Middleton is capable of being a top 15 player in the NBA if he was just a little bit more consistent. We see flashes of MVP caliber numbers, and then I see why Giannis was frustrated with the Bucks. But Giannis just was the best player on the court that whole series. And the fact that he came off of that very scary leg injury, like 6 games before that, ridiculous how fast he healed, ridiculous how fast he got back to full mobility, full agility, full strength, full speed. And so I think Monty coached really well in the finals. I just think that when it was all said and done, Giannis wanted it the most out of any player on the court.
And you got to feel terribly for Chris Paul. I was rooting for the Suns because I wanted to see Chris Paul get one, but the Bucks were the better team, and Giannis was the best player in the series, and we saw that. But he really just dominated Game 6. He took over, and that's what great players do. Great players come in and have moments when you need them to have those moments, and Giannis did that. Yeah. And so, like you said, the better team won the finals here, and it was the most entertaining playoffs that we've seen in a long time. Yeah. So I'm really excited to see what happens this offseason.
And the new season starts in less than 3 months, so it's a short off.
Crazy. But I'm pumped to see what happens through this offseason. Right. What teams are going to look like come next fall, and maybe the Bucks can repeat. I'm not calling a Bucks repeat right now, so don't quote me on that. All you people that hate me out there.
We've already got the freaking ammo on the Bengals coming in second place.
Oh man, yeah. So another day, another terrible take from yours truly. But this was something that it was really good to see, and I loved every second of it.
Morgan just sent me her tier list for the ice cream tier list we're about to do, and she titled the email "The Only Right Answers," and I thought that was great.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
But no, I think that you're absolutely right. I think the Bucks definitely have the talent to repeat. Drew Holiday, what a home run, A+, 100% trade that was for the Bucks. I mean, I know Bucks fans were frustrated that he was a little inconsistent offensively, and that's been really the story of Drew Holiday's career. He's not a scorer. He's a secondary scorer. He's not the guy that's going to drop 25 a night. I don't know why Bucks fans were hoping Drew Holiday was going to score 25 a night. That's why you have Giannis and Middleton. But Drew Holiday had the best defensive playoffs I've seen from a player in a long time. First round, shut down Jimmy Butler. Second round, shut down James Harden. Third round, shut down Trae Young. Finals, shut down Devin Booker. What a job by Drew Holiday. And he ended up being the missing piece that the Bucks needed. Couldn't get over the hump the last few years. Add Drew Holiday, they're champions. Drew Holiday was the X factor.
But this is what we saw. I saw this on one of the ESPN shows, and I couldn't agree with it more. And that's every single one of these series that the Suns won, Chris Paul had a game where he put up 30, 10 assists, something like that. Yep. In this series, Chris Paul couldn't get anything going. Yep. He didn't have one of those games. I thought Game 6 was going to be one of those games for Chris Paul where they might turn it around, but it just wasn't meant to be.
Yeah. No, and like I said, really everything that could have gone the Bucks' way did. Giannis, I mean, the resume for Giannis Antetokounmpo, for a guy that gets a lot of criticism, and I get that he's not the most skilled player in the NBA. He relies a lot on his athleticism and size, but so does everybody in the NBA. They're all 6'9" and 280 pounds. They all rely on size and strength. I don't know why we're calling out Giannis for, he doesn't know how to dribble a basketball. He's just a big 7-foot monster. And I'm like, well, everyone in the NBA is a big 7-foot monster. Kevin Durant, But I will say, Giannis is not the most skilled guy in the NBA. That's probably James Harden, maybe Kyrie Irving, maybe, a guy like Kevin Durant, LeBron James. It's not Giannis, for sure. But he's a lot more skilled than he was 2 or 3 years ago. Some of those spin moves he was pulling off in the playoffs, his post game is absolutely deadly for his size and speed. He's too fast for centers, and he's too big for forwards. He's just absolutely a matchup nightmare. And if his jump shot's improved a little bit over the last couple years. It's still not good, but if he can have an average mid-range jump shot, I don't even think he needs to be a three-point shooter. If he can have an average mid-range jump shot and have that in his disposal, this is a guy that could retire with 5 MVPs. He's 26 years old, has 2 MVPs, a Defensive Player of the Year, an NBA Finals championship, and a Finals MVP. Only one other player's ever done that in NBA history. Maybe you've heard of him. His name's Michael Jordan.
Yeah, and it's unbelievable stuff. I mean, we're seeing history. This is history in the making, and I'm loving it.
Yeah.
And this is what Giannis has done all year, and all the stereotypes of Mike Budenholzer saying, oh, he's a regular season coach, can't get it done in the playoffs. He can't manage a bench. He's having trouble with the players. Mike Budenholzer shut everybody up with this ring. He did. And this is, we talked about it before, and that's when, Budenholzer was saying, look, I'm you can give me all the crap that you want to, but the reality is we just won the finals. And I think it was very likely that if they did not get to the finals this season, Budenholzer would have been fired. And there were lots of rumors, and I would agree with those rumors, but they ain't firing him now. Not after a championship.
No, they're not. Absolutely not. And just kind of to close this up, I mean, the Bucks win the championship, like we said. Giannis, I mean, what a resume he's put together already. I love 2 things. One, I think the 2 faces of the NBA right now, obviously LeBron's still a face of the NBA. Kevin Durant's still a face of the NBA. But the 2 up-and-coming studs, like next faces of the league, both European. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Luka Doncic. And we'll get into Luka a little bit more later, but what a day he had today in his Olympic debut. Unreal how talented that guy is. But this postseason, and really this whole season in general, introduced the NBA fan base to the next wave of stars of the game. Trae Young, Devin Booker, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Luka Doncic, guys like Ja Morant, Zion Williamson. Pretty soon we're going to see this next wave through the NBA draft. Jalen Green, I'm so excited to see Jalen Green. He reminds me of this era's Vince Carter. He can jump out of a gym. Cade Cunningham, the big 6'8" point guard out of Oklahoma State. Evan Mobley. A lot of people think he looks a lot like Chris Bosh. So, I mean, there's a lot. This is the most talented the NBA has ever been. We have veteran superstars, we have prime superstars, and we have young superstars. And it's really fun to be an NBA basketball fan right now.
It is. So, take our first break of the day here on Testa and Neal. Keep it real. When we come back, our marketing director here at WWSU 106.9, Morgan Mulcahy, is going to join us.
Really? Just call her Mark?
No, I stumbled on my words, but she will join us for an ice cream tier list. So excited for that. Absolutely. We'll be back here in about 5 minutes on WWSU 106.9.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Every day, men and women from communities across this nation serve as Reserve Citizen Airmen.
I am proud to defend our nation.
Proud to be part of a team that helps make a difference.
I am proud to be part of something larger than me.
We celebrate those who have served and those who are proudly serving in the Air Force Reserve. Our mission is to fly, fight, and win in air, space, and cyberspace.
I am proud to be a member. I am proud to protect.
Proud to serve in the U.S. Air Force Reserve.
AFReserve.com.
If you love them enough to sit through their favorite boy band with them. then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Melissa from Michigan. I work an extra part-time job serving lunch at my child's school, but I still can't afford to put food on our table.
Daniel from California. Choosing whether to pay the rent or pay to fix the car to get to work doesn't leave us with much at all. Now we can't even pay for meals.
Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
In the wake of a disaster, what one thing can you send that will help people the most? A blanket, a tent, a sandbag, a doctor. Actually, if you send a monetary donation, you send all these things. Even a small donation can make a big impact and can quickly become exactly what people affected by disaster need most.
In the wake of a hurricane, your monetary donation can make a huge difference to those in need. To donate, visit supporthurricanerelief.org. That's supporthurricanerelief.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
For those fortunate enough to help the person who has always been their hero, AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help at aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
If you love them enough to listen to them practice the same song on tuba,
please be done.
Over and over and over and over and over, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Sounds good, honey.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone.
Done.
By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online. Learn more simple disaster prep tips at ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Dad, I picked up your pills, made your lunch, and your laundry is done.
When you care for a loved one, you take care of everything. But are you taking care of yourself? Find free care guides at aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
To protect her home and family in a disaster, Karen was willing to wade through water, mud, and insurance paperwork.
Yeah, I can do this.
You go, Karen! By simply understanding and updating what her insurance covers and doesn't cover now, she'll be better prepared no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
If you love them enough to barely sleep, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
To some, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much, but that's not true. They're testing out vowels and consonants and trying different sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on meaning, especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Learn more at autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
The average time a resume spends on an HR manager's desk is 7 seconds, and most of them are tossed aside. Now imagine if one of those resumes belonged to Yasmin, who was
living in a shelter, juggling 3 jobs. I had to be resilient. That's something that you can't teach.
We rely so much on a resume, yet it could never tell the full story of someone who
had to be independent and take initiative. And that's how I handle every project I get.
Discover new ways to develop great talent at gradsoflife.org. Brought to you by Grads of Life and the Ad Council.
If you love them enough to turn off your music and pretend like their music is your music,
This is Mommy's jam.
then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Every day, men and women from communities across this nation serve as Reserve Citizen Airmen.
I am proud to defend our nation.
Proud to be part of a team that helps make a difference.
I am proud to be part of something larger than me and to serve my country.
We celebrate those who have served and those who are proudly serving in the Air Force Reserve. Our mission is to fly, fight, and win in air, space, and cyberspace.
I am proud to be a member. I am proud to protect our...
Proud to serve in the U.S. Air Force Reserve.
What can I possibly do to make this stressful time a little better? Here's one thing I found. It's a small thing, a simple thing, a remarkable thing. Smile. You can share a smile from more than 6 feet apart. You can share it socially with the whole world. In fact, right now, I'm smiling at you. And I hope you're smiling back, because smiling is in you. From PassItOn.com.
Tom has been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. And I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. I was really starting to worry.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/our stories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Have you noticed lately how empty everything is? Empty streets, empty stores, empty schools. But I'm trying to change these empty times by being full of gratitude. Gratitude means saying thanks to the garbage collector, the medical providers, and all those who are helping every day. Things may appear empty around us, but when we're filled with gratitude, nothing is completely empty inside us. Gratitude is in you. From PassItOn.com.
How do airplanes fly? What's in this box? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Learn how to store your gun securely and make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
My mother was very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign and she wasn't even really sure where she was at.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
My mother was very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign and she wasn't even really sure where she was at.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling on it.
The dad joke. Corny, groan-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
What did the buffalo say when he dropped his son off for school? Bye, son.
So take a moment to make your kid laugh, because dad jokes rule. Make your kid laugh today. Go to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling on it.
The dad joke. Corny, groan-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
What did the buffalo say when he dropped his son off for school? Bye, son.
So take a moment to make your kid laugh, because dad jokes rule. Make your kid laugh today. Go to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling on it.
The dad joke. Corny, groan-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
What did the buffalo say when he dropped his son off for school?
Bye, son.
So take a moment to make your kid laugh, because dad jokes rule. Make your kid laugh today. Go to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling on it.
The dad joke. Corny, grown-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
What did the buffalo say when he dropped his son off for school? Bye, son.
So take a moment to make your kid laugh, because dad jokes rule. Make your kid laugh today. Go to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling on it.
The dad joke. Corny, grown-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
What did the buffalo say when he dropped his son off for school? Bye, son.
So take a moment to make your kid laugh, because dad jokes rule. Make your kid laugh today. Go to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Yo, this is Shinobi Ninja, and you're listening to WWSU 106.9 FM. Fairborn Dayton. Dayton's right choice.
A social distancing tip.
Putting distance between yourself and others is critical to slowing the spread of coronavirus. So here are ways to stay in contact without the physical contact part. Call, send a text, set up a video conference, post on social media, dedicate a song on the radio. If you have symptoms of fever, dry cough, and shortness of breath, call your healthcare provider before going to their office. For more info, visit coronavirus.gov.
Let's all do our part, because we're all #AloneTogether. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hey, you're listening to WWSU 106.9 FM, Fairborn Dayton, Dayton's right choice.
Well, that was a ton of fun, wasn't it?
We're back.
What the heck happened?
Here on Testa and Neal, Keep It Real. Right here on WWSU 106.9. Had some technical difficulties.
I've never seen DJ Controls do that before.
And
that was so weird.
Very strange. But we're back, and we hope we're better than ever.
I actually even had to, start up the emergency CD that we had, just in case.
Yes, I'm looking at the thing right now. It literally says emergency disaster.
I know.
CD.
I've never had to use it before until today.
Yeah. So we're back though. Ice cream tier list coming up here right now. We're joined by Morgan Mulcahy. He's not on camera, and we're also joined by my brother Casey, who wants to weigh his opinions on this topic. He never
said himself that he wanted to join. I think Morgan said he wanted to join.
Okay.
I think that's what happened.
I'm good with that either way.
Yeah,
the more the merrier. That's how it works here. So,
and the more the people that we have on this show, the less that people have to deal with us.
It's true.
Which is the reason why I like to have athletes on from Wright State, because they're way more likable than us.
It's true. It's very true. So thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah.
We're happy to have you along here. What are we doing first? There's a lot on this list.
All right. Let me actually. Morgan was gracious enough to send hers to me, and I can. I should have probably sent it to you. I guess I can still do that, but
I have my own here.
Yeah.
That I'm currently filling out, winging it like I always
that's
do.
what I'm doing too. But what do you think? Do you think we should start with one of the classics?
Let's do a classic first. Why not?
Right.
Why not?
What do you want to do?
I'm
like the least decisive person in the world,
great
so this
question.
is a bad idea for me to pick.
Let's just do typical old vanilla.
Okay. So I think this will be a common theme for a lot of flavors. It depends where you get it. Normal store-bought vanilla, or vanilla a lot of places, very dull, very boring. I know another flavor on this list that is similar but better, French vanilla. But if we're talking Young's Dairy, if you're from Ohio, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Young's Dairy vanilla is one of the best things that's ever happened. So Young's Dairy vanilla is without a doubt at least A tier. But regular old vanilla, I'm going to put it in C tier. Taste-wise, it's probably more like D because you can just get so many better flavors. But just because of the iconic history to it, just being vanilla ice cream, I feel like I got to pay it a little bit of respect and put it in C.
So I'm a huge vanilla person. If I have the choice,
That's the most you thing I've ever heard. I'm a huge vanilla person.
If I have the choice between chocolate or vanilla, it's vanilla every time.
I agree.
It's vanilla every time. Just classic vanilla, I'm going to say A tier because I love it. Morgan, what's your thoughts on vanilla?
My thoughts are I put it in D tier.
Wow.
Just because
She ain't messing around.
French vanilla is in C tier, right above it.
Okay.
Just would not be the flavor I would pick right off the bat.
Okay.
Too dull. Okay.
I gotcha. Casey, your opinion on vanilla?
I put in A.
We can't hear
I think,
you. Look, we need you to talk closer to the microphone.
I put in A. I think vanilla is the best of the best. I put in A. Oh, I didn't put in S only because French vanilla is better.
That's a valid point.
Yeah. So I think we're all on a similar ideology that French vanilla is better than regular vanilla. But yeah. Okay. Let's do. See, this is gonna be tough. You know what? I kind of feel like being a little upset for the next one. So I'm gonna go with one that I don't know why it exists. It doesn't need to exist. Neapolitan. This one is. I want to put it in F really bad. I'm going to put it in D because 2/3 of it is... I mean, all the flavors are good on their own. But whoever thought it was a good idea to combine chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla into one ice cream, you're doing too much. Stop it. Like, you're messing with a good thing. And something I learned at a young age, something I learned as a young kid, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They tried to fix something that wasn't broke and broke it. So D tier for me.
Yeah. I actually have never had Neapolitan. Actually, I take that back. It's D tier. I think I had it on a cruise ship, to be honest with you.
That sounds like a place where you'd have it.
I don't remember where I had it, but I know I've had it once or twice. It's D tier. I'm going to say it's okay. Those three flavors by themselves are great, but mixed doesn't work.
Casey, what are your thoughts?
I have it in D as well. I don't really think anything mixes well together.
Yeah, I agree. 3 that are good on their own, but they just don't mix.
Right.
Vanilla and strawberry mixes better than, like, if I'm breaking it down here, let's do the biology of Neapolitan ice cream. Vanilla and strawberry works. Vanilla and chocolate, I think you can make it work. It's not something I do, but I think you can make it work. The vanilla chocolate swirl cones are good. Where you go wrong is chocolate and strawberry does not go. It does not go.
Not at all. Morgan, what are your thoughts on Neapolitan?
I put it in the never had it.
Okay.
section.
That's probably a good thing that you've never had it.
I don't think I want to try it.
Yeah.
I like them separate.
Yeah.
If you're ever on a cruise ship, it might be the only place you run into it. But or like, like a 12-year-old birthday party. Like, I feel like the 2 places where I've ever seen Neapolitan ice cream are on a cruise ship or like at, a 6th grader's birthday party. That's about it.
I'd agree with that. Let's do one that
I'd trade Nelson Cruz for a tub of Neapolitan ice cream. And we'll get into that in hour number 2.
Don't start with that, please. But yeah, so let's do one that I know is gonna spark some debate here.
Okay.
And it's the chocolate chip cookie dough.
Oh God.
I know
you're just the king of stirring the pot, aren't you?
So personally,
here we go.
Chocolate chip cookie dough is S tier. It's my favorite flavor of all time. I love it, and I know Morgan feels the same way about this. This is the best ice cream flavor there is, in my opinion.
Okay. You done?
I'm done.
Okay. It's A tier. I'm not saying it's bad. It's very, very good. It's not the best cookie ice cream flavor. It's not. The thing is, when you're comparing cookie ice cream flavors, and we'll get into this when we get into the other ones, which I assume we'll do next because it would only make sense. But chocolate chip cookie dough is really good. But you're basically paying for vanilla ice cream with like 3 chunks of cookie dough in it. It's not the same bang for your buck as some other flavors. If you want cookie dough, you either make cookies or eat raw cookie dough. chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream, good flavor, really good, but it's not. I can't put it in S tier. It's not something I can't live without.
Here's the problem I have with what you just said. You
sound like a disappointed parent right now.
It's not 3 chunks of cookie dough. You're over exaggerating here.
It's radio. That's what I do every day.
Okay, you don't need to yell at me. So it's the best ice cream flavor there is. It's fantastic.
I'm employed by ESPN. The motto of the company is over exaggerate for views.
That's fair, but this is not ESPN radio here. This is WWSU, and we have different opinions. We still over exaggerate by a long shot, but chocolate chip cookie dough is better than our next flavor.
No, chocolate chip cookie dough is good, but it's not better than the flavor we're about to talk about. I'll let you two go. So
we're done arguing.
Hold my ammo. Yeah.
Which one? I think Shay's very wrong here. I agree with Parker. It's definitely an S tier.
Thank you.
The one person who agreed with me that was here today had to go, so this looks bad for me. But I'm used to being, stand up for what you believe in, even if you stand alone. So that's the mentality I'm taking here. I don't care. I'm not getting peer pressured.
Morgan, what are your thoughts on this? We're done arguing for the time being.
I also think it's S tier. Shay. I agree with Parker.
Rest my case, Shay.
Enjoy that. That'll be the only time you ever hear those words. I agree with Parker.
It's okay. If this is the one time that it happens,
This is the one debate you win. It's a good debate to win.
I'm okay with that, to be honest with you.
All right.
Cookies and cream, and I'll let you take the floor.
Cookies and cream is S tier because unlike cookie dough, cookies and cream delivers on what they market. They put cookies in the ice cream. That's the thing. That's the big difference. It's vanilla ice cream with Oreo chunks in every single bite. You don't have to, fish around for the cookie dough chunks. So that's why it's S tier. Cookie dough, great flavor, solid A tier. Really enjoy it. But cookies and cream wins the cookie battle of ice cream.
Okay, fine. I'm not going to argue because this will not go anywhere. We'll just sit here and yell.
And it's already
yell
12:43,
yell at each other. We may have to push some of our scheduled stuff back.
We always
for
do
later in the week, but that's the beauty of this show. So next one that I want to talk about here is Rocky Road. I love Rocky Road.
Okay.
I'm going to put it in A. I'm going to say B tier for Rocky Road. I'm a big the actual dessert Rocky Road. I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah.
And I eat more than I should at Christmas time of that, but Rocky Road is B tier for me.
Okay. Something you'll learn about me is that, believe it or not, I'm not huge into super, super sweet ice creams. I like more it has to balance, I feel like. It either has to be combination sweet and savory or like combination sweet and tart, something like that. It has to, in a way, balance. So Rocky Road's B for me as well. I like the flavor of it. I think it's good, but I just can't eat it a lot because I feel like it's almost too much. So it's B tier for me.
Okay. All right. I'm all right with that. Which one of you wants to take the stage on this now?
You're just going to have to call someone out.
Yeah, that's how this is going to work.
Yeah.
I put Rocky Road in C, actually.
Okay.
I agree with you. The actual dessert is very good, but I don't know about the ice cream.
All right. I'm all right with that, Morgan.
I put it in A just because I honestly didn't know what it was. I know it had chocolate in it, so I just put it more towards the top.
Okay.
That's fair.
I like that.
If it has
reasoning.
chocolate in it, it's good.
Yeah, I'm all right with
usually pretty safe bet.
Casey, what flavor you want to do next?
Hey, you pick.
I say we move towards the fruit. Do peach.
Peach.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. I like it.
Peach for me, I'm not a big peach person at all. I like peach tea.
Peach tea's really good. Pure leaf?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm not a big peach anything else person, so it's F tier for me.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I put it in C, behind vanilla. I don't mind it. I just don't order peach ice cream when I go to get ice cream. My one experience, I've had 2 experiences with peach and ice cream. Peach milkshake at Chick-fil-A is one of the best things that's ever happened. It's unbelievable. And I don't know if anybody in this room has had it. If you haven't, I demand you get it today, like on your way home. Because it's only available in the summer, and the summer's closing fast. So you got to bounce on that opportunity now. But peach ice cream, only place I've ever gotten it is Young's, and I thought it was pretty solid because Young's Dairy Vanilla is, again, elite. And basically what they do is they just cut up fresh peaches that they grow on the farm and then kind of mix that in. So I think that makes it good, but overall, it's meh for me just because if I'm picking what ice cream flavor I want, I'm never going to say peach.
Right. Casey?
I agree with you, Shay, about picking ice cream flavors. I'm not going to pick a fruit flavor.
Unless it's strawberry.
I will pick a fruit flavor. We'll get into that in a second, but yeah.
Yeah. Morgan?
I put it in B tier. I wouldn't usually pick peach as a ice cream flavor, but at Young's Dairy, on like a hot summer afternoon, it tastes really good. I've never had it anywhere else.
Morgan's incredibly cultured. Young's Dairy peach is pretty.
It is.
Been to Young's Dairy once.
Well,
and
you
it
sound
was
like you're lame.
It was like 5 years ago. But
Casey, can you confirm he's lame?
Majority of the time.
Okay, I'm all right. I'm all right with that. Pistachio.
You got to be careful with how you say that. You started it off, and I'm like, where are you going with that?
Pistachio ice cream.
Jesus, man. Please say pistachio. What's not getting anything here? Pat's going to start texting me.
I don't like this at all. I'm not high on this. It's not good. It's a lower D tier, maybe F tier for me.
I'm not going to lie. I've never had it.
Okay.
And it's because I've never had the desire to have it. If I had it, it just doesn't seem like something I'd vibe with. It seems like something God, I'm turning into a college kid. I just said something I'd vibe with. Good Lord. But I feel like if I did have it, I'd probably put it in a similar spot, D tier. But I've never had it personally, and it's really because, like I said, all the ice cream flavors in the world, there's dozens, maybe even hundreds I'd pick before getting to pistachio.
Right. Casey?
I put in C just because I've actually had it, unlike you, and there's a little bit of actual like salt taste in there, and it's kind of interesting with the ice cream. I like it.
Okay. All right, Morgan?
I've never had it before, so I don't have much input.
Okay.
I will say, though, I do like what Casey brought up. Salt factor in ice cream is actually very intriguing, and it's why I like salted caramel.
Yes. I'm with you. It's one that I like a lot. Like some salty, like the caramels with salt on top are fantastic.
Have any of you ever been down to Key West?
I have not.
Like the sea saltwater taffy?
I have not.
There's something about candy with salt on it. It's so good. I feel like that's why margaritas are good. I probably shouldn't say that on the air, but I feel like that's why margaritas are good.
Yeah. Butter pecan.
I enjoy it, but I don't. It's another one that I just don't go out of my way to get. So I'm going to put it in B because I like that it's more of a savory aspect to it. I said earlier I don't like super, super sweet ice cream. So I like the fact that it's kind of got, the sweet element with it, but it also has, kind of the earthy vibe with the pecans and then the almost kind of like saltiness with the butter. So I think it kind of hits a lot of different flavor profiles. Yes, I know that sounds like something you'd hear on Food Network, but I have watched a lot of Hell's Kitchen during quarantine, so I feel like I'm cultured to talk about food vocabulary. So I think it hits on a lot of different flavor profiles, but I put it in B tier. It's good, but it's nothing insanely special that I get every time.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's C tier for me. I mean, I like it, but I'm not going to pick it over. Like, if there's other options, depending on those other options, I'm likely not going to take that. Casey, butter pecan.
I've actually never had it, and I don't know if I will after hearing you guys saying it's pretty meh.
It's good. It's just they're better.
Okay, so there's people that love it, and it's like their favorite flavor ever. But it's just, I'm just not one of those people.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of people that hate it. There's a lot of people that love it. I'm just somewhere in between. I think When I eat it, it's a nice change of pace, but it's not enough of a change of pace for me to want to eat it more than once or twice a year.
Right. Morgan?
I think it's the type of ice cream that you always have in your fridge. Well, at least for me, because my dad, it's his favorite type of ice cream.
Okay.
So I would rather have it at home than a ice cream place.
That's very fair. I do feel like butter pecan is like one of those flavors that you'd have in the freezer at home instead of going to like Grater's or something.
It's not my top choice, but it's definitely good.
Yeah, I'm with you. So this next one is, let's see. Morgan, what do you want to do next?
Peanut butter cup.
Okay.
All right.
We're getting into fun tier.
That is the ultimate best ice cream flavor, in my opinion.
I'm with you. It's S tier for me as well. I love peanut butter cup. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it is. S tier for me too. I don't think we're gonna have much disagreement here. Chocolate and peanut butter is obviously a lethal combination, but I think that with normal peanut butter, it's still good, but sometimes it gets a little too thick. Peanut butter cup, it adds a different texture. It keeps the peanut butter element, and it's just something different. So yeah, Morgan said her dad's always got butter pecan in the freezer. Something you'll always see in my freezer is a half gallon or a tub or whatever of the Reese's peanut butter cup.
Casey, there's only one right answer here. Don't mess it up.
I actually have it in A. Just because
3 S's and an A.
Just because I don't think it's up there. Sorry to bring it up, but I don't think it's up there with chocolate chip cookie dough.
You're like the Dwayne Wade at the slam dunk.
You had to be the Simon Cowell of ice cream tier list.
He's Dwayne Wade. Aaron Gordon just had the dunk to win the dunk contest. We all gave 10s, and then he dropped a 9. Thanks, D Wade.
Come on, you had to be the Simon Cowell of this ice cream tier list,
right?
Shay, what do you want to do next?
So I don't know much about birthday cake, but I'm gonna do a spin on it, and we're gonna pretend it's Cold Stone cake batter. Okay, or just cake batter in general.
I'm all right with that.
I'm gonna pretend it's Cold Stone cake batter, which makes me put it in S tier because Cold Stone is the only place that makes cake batter perfectly. Not too sweet, but it's got that almost like cakey vibe to it while also having the sweetness to it. You put that cake batter ice cream at Cold Stone is really good, but I'm telling you, Cold Stone cake batter shake is just the best thing ever. That Cold Stone on the corner at the Green. First thing I do when I get to the Green, swing through Cold Stone, get a cake batter shake, and then I go to all the stores while sipping on a cake batter shake, and it's a good Saturday afternoon in the DYT. So S tier for me.
Okay. I'm going to go B tier.
Okay.
I haven't had it a whole lot, to be honest with you.
I should be more specific. Cake batter is only S tier for me if it's from Cold Stone. Regular cake batter from just in general is probably also B or C.
Casey?
I have put it in C. I don't think it's the greatest.
Okay. Morgan, cake batter or birthday cake, whatever you want to call it.
I would say S tier, but it is sweet, so I would understand how other people might disagree. I did used to work at Cold Stone, so that was a lot of people's favorites, if I would have to say.
I probably was 30% of their sales. Tell you what, it's absolutely dangerous, though, because Cold Stone is more expensive than a lot of other ice cream places.
Right.
So, when you go shopping with somebody, if you're in a relationship or something, you go shopping, and they see Cold Stone, they want ice cream, and then you end up having a $16 check, and it's oh, geez.
So I just got a text from my dad that said, Red's Grand Slam ice cream is the best.
I don't know if I've ever had that.
I haven't either. I know we've had it.
I'm literally going to a Reds game next weekend, so I'll have to have it.
But no, it's you get it at Kroger. It's this kind of. Okay. It's like it has.
Let me look it up live on air.
It has Reds. What's the name of their mascot? Oh my God,
Mr. Red.
Yeah, it has him on it, and it's a certain flavor, I guess. I don't know.
Let's see this. Here we go. Homemade brand ice cream from Red's Grand Slam. Smooth, creamy peanut butter ice cream, milk chocolate peanut butter cups, homemade fudge. It's a winning combination that is sure to score a home run with your taste buds. Okay, that sounds like it's S tier.
It does.
It sounds like it's S tier.
I know we've had it at home, but I've never gotten into it. I always would either eat cookies or in cream or vanilla over that just because that's what I
I thought
know.
your dad was about to tell us that the Reds made a trade for somebody, and I was going to be excited. Unless it was Nick Ahmed, then I was going to be sad. But no, I'll have to next time. I'm going to the store tomorrow, actually. So I'll have to try and see if I can find that.
Coffee.
I had a phase from like when I was like 13 to like 17 that I was really into mocha ice cream and coffee ice cream. It's still good. I still like it, but it's not a must get for me. I'm going to put it at the end of A. It's behind cookie dough for sure, which I have an A. It's really good, and when I have it, I feel like I space it out enough that it's a really good change of pace. But I don't. If you asked me when I was 16, I would have put it in S tier, but right now I'd say kind of A- tier.
Yeah, I'm in like a B tier kind of area. Coffee, anything is fantastic.
Getting the Keurig was the best thing we ever did.
Yes. But I'm just not I haven't had it a whole lot, and I'm not big on, I mean, I love ice cream, but coffee ice cream.
Right.
I
If
haven't.
you're getting ice cream, why would you get coffee ice cream?
Right.
I'd just get coffee and ice cream.
Yes. Morgan?
I'm a huge fan of coffee ice cream.
Okay.
Actually.
Okay.
I love it. It's just really good. I don't think it could ever get old, I guess.
Okay, Case?
I put coffee in B. I've had it a couple times, but I never came back around to it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's tough. I understand, coffee and ice cream is great. But
I'll admit coffee ice cream is really good. It's just another one of these where it's like there's so many flavors that I would pick before I got to coffee ice cream.
Yeah, I'm with you. We can do one more before we have to hit our top of the hour break. Thanks for joining us. However you may be listening, and whether it's on WWSU 106.9 and or on YouTube.
I didn't realize you were doing the full station plug. My bad. I think we got to knock out another one of these fruit ones. We're starting to get overwhelmed with fruit ones. So which one do you want to do, Parker? Save the really good one for towards the end.
Okay, I was going to say the really good one, but we'll hold off.
You know what I'm talking about.
Banana.
I don't think I've ever had it.
I haven't either.
I don't know how I like the idea of it. Quit saying vibe, Shay. Oh my lord. Ugh. I'm getting mad at myself. But I feel like I feel like I'd pick peach over banana for an ice cream flavor. But as we're, live on air, I am drinking a strawberry banana smoothie. So if it's strawberry banana, yes. Just banana by itself, though. Never had it, but it doesn't sound like something I'd rock with.
Yeah. Casey, what are your thoughts on banana ice cream?
Banana is actually one of the only fruits I have pretty high up, and I put it in B. I think it's pretty good.
Okay.
Morgan? Might have to give it a shot.
Banana is actually one of my favorite fruits, but sometimes the artificial flavor of banana is not as good as the actual fruit.
I get that.
That's what I feel like.
Yeah. Okay. So it's 1:00, and before Pat yells at me, we have to take our top of the hour break. Thank you for joining us right here on Testa and Neal Keep It Real for our weekly food tier list.
We've still got 17 more to hit.
Oh, man. All right. Well,
you don't have to fly.
Not at all. If you're along for the ride, thanks for joining us. I know we have a couple YouTube viewers. So we'll be back here shortly on WWSU 106.9.
Pass it on.
This time of upheaval is causing me to look a little deeper inside myself, looking for some goodness. And this is what I've found. I'm more aware of my neighbor's well-being. I'm saying thanks to those who help keep my life as normal as possible. My mail carrier, my grocery cashier, my delivery person. I find myself caring about others instead of just looking out for myself. And oh, my goodness, does it feel good. Goodness is in you.
Pass it on.
From passiton.com.
Hey everyone, check out Rush Week 2021, presented by Alpha Sig Eta Psi here on campus. To find out more information, check out their Instagram at ALPHASIGS_WSU. You're gonna love it.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling on it.
The dad joke. Corny, groan-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
What did the buffalo say when he dropped his son off at school? Bye, son.
So take a moment to make your kid laugh, because dad jokes rule. Make your kid laugh today. Go to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Hey, this is Mac Millen. You're listening to WWSU, Dayton's Right Choice.
Pass it on.
Now's the time to stay apart. Social distancing. But I'm adding something else. Pull together. What's pulling together while we're staying apart? It's calling family to check in on them. It's waving to your neighbor. It's the things we should have been doing all along. And when this tragedy passes and we're able to come together, we'll be stronger than ever because we've already pulled together. Stay apart. Pull together.
Pass it on.
From passiton.com.
Watch out.
You got me. The galaxy is safe once again.
In the pretend universe, kids play with pretend guns. In the real world, it's up to us to make sure they don't get their hands on a real gun. If you have a gun in the house, keep it locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage.
So, you've made it to college and you're about to hit the next level with
You give them as much time as you can, but it's just as important to take time for yourself. AARP can help. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving. That's aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job?
Not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
Or a mother who's in between jobs and
Sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner.
I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
They say singing can help you remember things, so here's some tips for parents out there during these tough times.
Number 1. Make sure your kids wash their hands for 20 seconds after they've coughed or sneezed or been outside. 2. Virtual play dates. Social and physical distancing can help save lives. 3. Tell them they're safe and show your love and pride. Yes, we'll get through this together.
Find out more at coronavirus.gov. A message from the CDC and the Ad Council.
Donna from Louisiana. The storm just hit, and we went from donating to the food bank to needing it.
Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them?
By their clothes,
their age,
the way they speak.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
America, your children have an amazing superpower. That's right. They can help save lives by simply washing their hands. Just 20 seconds of thorough hand washing after they've coughed or sneezed or been outside can help fight against the dastardly spread of germs. Armed with only soap and water and hands, your superhero can protect you, your family, and everyone out there in America land. Amazing! Find out more at coronavirus.gov. A message from the CDC and the Ad Council.
Hi, my name is Essence, and I'm a psychology major here at Wright State, and you're listening to WWSU 106.9, Dayton's Right Choice.
You are listening to Testa and Neal. Keep it real right here on Dayton's Right Choice, WWSU 106.9 FM.
Ever had. You've made it to college. Considering it's the second time I've done it, it can't be the worst idea I've ever had. It's just tied for the worst.
Just so you all know, I did not want to play that. I was overruled.
Morgan and I did.
I was overruled. So
yeah, no.
I apologize for what you just listened
That's
to.
the best commercial I've ever recorded. No, we do not actually sell condoms. I just was informed that we potentially could if we wanted to. I don't want to. I was informed that we had that possibility. And then our good friend Mackenzie bet me that I wouldn't make a commercial for it. So I did. Because Mackenzie doesn't know me and doesn't know that, I'm open to anything that's funny.
Yeah. So
and I love the fact that I put Wham in the background. That's just perfect.
thanks for joining us here on WWSU 106.9 and on YouTube. Athen, we know our ads suck. We are
so perfect.
We are very aware
Pass
of that.
it on.
But back to our ice cream tier
These
list.
ads suck.
We know. We know. So let's start with.
Just want to get. I feel like there's one that stands alone here that we need to get rid of. Mint chocolate chip.
S tier. For me, it's S tier. I love mint chocolate chip. It's really good.
It's A for me. Behind cookie dough, ahead of coffee. I'm just not the biggest mint guy, personally, but I know it's really, really good, and I know that it's definitely a unique flavor, and I can respect that, and I still like it. It's just not my all-time favorites because I'm not huge on mint.
Right, Morgan.
It's on my S tier as well. I agree with Parker.
Yes.
Wow, you got two of those in one show.
Classic.
It is a classic. There's no other way to put
Morgan said I agree with Parker more today than I've said all summer.
It's okay. She's got her facts straight. Casey?
She put the Bengals in second.
I have mint chocolate chip just behind cookies and cream in A.
The look I just got. Oh, man.
We'll roast my sports takes
Why'd
later.
You added like the head tilt too. You're like,
we'll roast my sports takes later. What'd you say, Casey? I'm sorry. He was busy roasting me.
I have mint chocolate chip just behind cookies and cream in A.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
2 S's, 2 A's.
I can live with that.
That's fine.
All
right. We'll pass it around. So you get to pick this one, Parker, and then we'll go to Casey and then Morgan.
Cotton candy.
I feel like cotton candy's Walmart cake batter for me. They're both super sweet, and I prefer cake batter personally. Or you could call cake batter Target cotton candy, whatever you want to say. It's going to be D tier for me. I have it ahead of Neapolitan, and I think it's better tasting than Neapolitan, but it's just way too sweet for me, and it's something that if I'm really in a sweet mood, it's cake batter 10 times out of 10.
Morgan?
So I had all of like cotton candy, bubblegum, those type of flavors in the low tiers just because I know it's kind of like a children flavor.
Yeah.
I'm not saying adults don't like it, but I think kids like it more than older people.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Casey, cotton candy.
I've actually never had it. I feel like just having cotton candy kind of ruined having. I would not want to have ice cream.
That's fair. I'm not a cotton candy person to begin with. I've never had cotton candy ice cream, but
He just looks at me like freaking Pennywise the clown over here.
yeah, one of our YouTube comments, quote, mint chocolate chip is trash. Put it in F. I
Wow.
can't disagree with that more.
I'm not even a mint guy, and I have to put it in at least B.
I'm going to use a quote that Shea says all the time. There's no such thing as a wrong opinion, Athen, but your opinion's wrong. Mint chocolate chip
Mine's a little meaner, but okay.
Mint chocolate chip is one of the best there is. I have 4 flavors in S tier. That's one of them.
I feel like even if you like fully just despise mint, you still have to put it in like C.
Casey, what flavor you want to do next?
I say coconut.
Coconut. I'm not a big coconut person at all. I will eat it in certain things, but I've never had coconut ice cream.
I actually like coconut. Love like coconut cream pie. Love, it's funny. I'm the vacuum cleaner of like almond joys at Halloween when people don't want them. Because I'm like the one person that eats coconut. But I've only had coconut ice cream like once. It was okay. It was a common theme I keep coming back to is I like stuff that's not too sweet. I like that coconut's kind of a little bit more combative with the sweetness, but there's still better flavors for me. So I'm going to put it in C. It's okay. I mean, when I ate it, I wasn't revolted, but it's not something I'd go out of my way to eat again.
Yeah. Morgan, your thoughts on coconut?
I have had it once on vacation, and I actually thought it was pretty good.
Okay.
I think some of these flavors are seasonal, so
that's fair.
Like, kind of depends on the time of the year
right.
you get these flavors. So I would say it's like C.
Okay.
Rain.
I
Yeah.
think you could. I feel like that's true with peach too. I feel like if you eat peach in the summer, it's like A B, and if you eat peach any other time of the year, it's like C D.
Okay. Morgan, what flavor you want to do next?
I'm gonna have to go with pumpkin.
Okay.
Like again, this is another seasonal flavor.
Right.
I don't know if you guys have ever had it, but being a girl, I do like my pumpkin flavored
I wasn't gonna
Right.
say
treats
anything.
Yeah.
in the October.
I wasn't gonna say it. You said it, not us.
I know.
Right. Pumpkin spice
I
lattes
personally
over
love
under
it.
15 a year. How many do you have?
0. I have never had a pumpkin spice latte.
Morgan, how many pumpkin spice lattes do you have a year?
I've actually never had one.
Ooh, okay.
Respect. Fighting the stereotypes.
But I do like pumpkin flavored other desserts.
Okay.
Pumpkin pie is fantastic.
I would have to.
I've never had pumpkin ice cream, so I don't know how I would feel about that. I like pumpkin flavor, but never had the ice cream.
I've had pumpkin pie ice cream once, and I don't think that's the same thing, but I'm gonna pretend it is. It was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm treating this like it's seasonal because you can really only eat it in the fall. I feel like maybe you can get away with it early winter, like November. That's not even early winter. I don't know what I'm saying. But I'll put it at the end of B. It's not insane, but it's solid. And if I'm eating it in, October or whatever, like the pumpkin pie ice cream, it's a vibe.
Right. Casey, thoughts on pumpkin ice cream?
I actually haven't had it, but I feel like everything with pumpkin isn't terrible.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, and
going back to coconut, I know we're already moved on, but I just thought of something because she said she ate it while she was on vacation. I just thought of an ice cream flavor that I don't think has been a thing yet, and if it has, I've never had it. That I think would be a really slept on thing for cruise ships and stuff. Pina colada ice cream.
Okay. I don't hate that at all.
I don't either.
Here, let's see. What do we need to look at here? Fudge swirl.
Fudge swirl.
I think fudge anything is great. I have this one in C tier because I haven't had it a whole lot. But if I were to put it somewhere, it'd be C tier.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever had an ice cream flavor that's specifically called fudge swirl. So what I'm going to compare this to is Buckeye Blitz at Grader's, which is, I think, a pretty similar thing. Chocolate fudge with, bits of chocolate in it and stuff like that. It's good. I'm going to have it at the top of B for me. It's my probably, there's two, I'm not a super sweet guy. It's like the 8th time I've said it. But the 2 sweet ice creams I go to more than anything, Cake Batter Shake at Cold Stone and Buckeye Blitz from Grader's. So that's my number 1 super sweet ice cream. So it's top of B for me. It's really solid.
Casey?
I put fudge swirl in B. I feel like it's pretty good. I don't have it much, but it's definitely good.
Morgan?
I put it in A.
Okay.
Just because of the chocolate, but I think I would rather have my fudge on top of the ice cream instead of in my ice cream.
Valid. Very fair point there.
Yeah,
I'm not going to argue that.
No.
All right.
So we're back to me then?
Yeah.
Okay. Or did I pick? No, I didn't pick.
You didn't pick.
Let's do French vanilla. Let's get it out of the way.
S tier for me.
It's really good.
I love French vanilla. I had regular vanilla in A tier, but French vanilla is one of my 4 in S tier. And we've already talked about all 4 that I have in S tier. But French vanilla is elite.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
I have it top of A. I kept it out of S because I just don't eat it enough, I feel like, to put it in S. But it's really, really good. If you're having pie, if you're having cake, if you're having, anything where you need an ice cream complement to it, French vanilla ice cream is the top ice cream to pair with it.
It is. Casey?
French vanilla is my go-to. It's definitely the top of my list.
Okay. Morgan?
I had it next to strawberry and chocolate.
Okay.
Just a basic flavor.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of strawberry, let's do strawberry.
Let's get this one over with.
Actually, I lied. 5 in S tier for me, and strawberry is one of them.
I expect nothing less.
I love strawberry ice cream. I know there's not a lot of people that do, to be honest. I know I get
one thing we have in common.
Yes. Whenever I go to Steak and Shake and get a strawberry milkshake, people are like, "What?"
All right. Out of all the shakes that Steak and Shake has,
yeah,
strawberry.
Strawberry, but don't knock it till you try it because it's fantastic.
Strawberry milkshake from Steak and Shake. Strawberry milkshake from Chick-fil-A. Strawberry ice cream. All elite. I have it in S tier. This is the one 90% of the time. If I'm getting ice cream, it's probably strawberry.
Casey, strawberry ice cream thoughts?
I don't really like it. I have it in C. Bottom of C.
Man. Broken.
C minus.
Wow.
Morgan? Like somebody telling me Joe Burrow is not good.
If I had to choose when I was younger out of strawberry, vanilla, or chocolate, it was definitely definitely strawberry.
Okay.
Every single time.
Yeah.
Respect.
But I don't really eat it that much anymore.
That's fair.
Yeah. And I'm not eating ice cream a whole lot, but strawberries.
I feel like Morgan's got a really mature palate. Where I'm looking at her tier list and all of her top tiers are peanut butter, mint, chocolate, and coconut and stuff. And I'm like, okay, so I'm sitting here with strawberry birthday cake and cookies and cream, and I'm like, I'm still 13 on the inside. And Morgan's out here with mint and peanut butter.
Casey, what flavor do you want to do next?
Lemon.
Lemon. I was excited for this one actually. I've had it 3 times. It's not bad at all. I like the tartness of it. I think it brings something definitely different to the table. But it's very similar to some other flavors that I talked about earlier. You have it once every couple months. Good change of pace, unique. But it's not something I'd go out of my way to order numerous times. So I have it in the C tier. It's solid, but not anything spectacular.
It's definitely one of those seasonal ones.
Mm-hmm.
I have it in C tier as well. I like lemon on certain things.
I feel like this one's almost like a palate cleanser. After you eat at a restaurant or something, you just get a scoop of vanilla or lemon ice cream or something.
You're right. Casey, you picked the flavor. What are your thoughts?
I think this is an A category.
Wow. Okay.
I think it's really good.
I respect it. I know there's probably. It's one of those flavors where I feel like there's a lot of people that just absolutely love it, and there's a lot of people that absolutely hate it. I don't think there's going to be a lot of middle ground people.
Right. Morgan, thoughts on lemon?
I don't think it would be bad. I've never had it before.
Okay.
So that's all I have.
Okay. What would you pick the next flavor, Morgan? What do you want to do?
We haven't done cherry yet.
Okay. I've never had cherry. I'm not a big cherry person to begin with. I don't like cherries. I haven't had it, but my bet would be I probably wouldn't like it very much.
I never had cherry ice cream until I went to Florida 3 weeks ago, and we got at the store black cherry ice cream. Really good. Not gonna lie. I still wouldn't. I think I'd pick stuff like vanilla and peach over cherry. But it's, solid C tier for me. Considering that was the first time I'd really ever experienced it. It wasn't. I was worried it was going to be overly sweet, and it wasn't. But there's another. Strawberry we've already talked about, and there's another fruit flavor that isn't on this list that I'm going to bring up right at the end that I prefer over cherry for sure.
Yeah. Casey, what are your thoughts on cherry?
I really, really dislike cherry. I have an F.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in between. I haven't had it, so I obviously can't give an opinion. But based on my cherry experiences in the past, I probably wouldn't like it very much.
Yeah.
I think the artificial cherry flavor has ruined my chances for anything cherry flavored, like ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Okay.
Have any of you ever played the game where you try to tie a knot with your tongue on a cherry stem?
No.
No. I tried to do that when I was 11 because I saw it in Drake and Josh, and I almost choked to death.
Superman.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I know it's a kid flavor. I didn't even like it that much as a kid.
I have never heard of Superman ice cream, to be honest.
I think, wasn't it a Cold Stone thing?
I know a lot of the gas station ice cream stores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
I think I remember seeing it. It was either at Young's or Cold Stone when I was a kid, but I probably only had it once or twice. I just liked other flavors more. So I'm just not. I mean, and now as an adult, it just doesn't sound like anything I'd ever get into. So this is going to be my first and potentially my only F flavor of the day, because I feel like if I didn't like it as a kid, there's no chance for it ever.
Right. Casey, what are your thoughts on Superman ice cream?
I've actually never had it. I've seen it many times, but it just looked like too much.
So, mango.
Mango's very similar to, like, I don't know. I think mango for me is closer to peach and cherry than it is to, like, strawberry and some of the other fruit flavors that I think just make better ice cream flavors. I don't think of mango and I think of ice cream. Like, if I want mango with ice cream, I'd get a scoop of vanilla and, like, cut up a mango over it. I wouldn't put mango in the ice cream.
Right.
So for me, it's probably like low C, high D. I'll put it in high D because I think I'd pick everything in C over it.
I don't think I've had mango ice cream, so I can't give an opinion on this one. Morgan?
I've had mango sorbet.
It's similar.
I like that, but I've just never had the ice cream.
Yeah. Casey?
I have an F. I think fruits either do really well or really bad. This
That's
is definitely
fair.
one that goes really
I
bad.
think that's honestly true.
It
I think with a
depends.
lot of fruit flavors, I don't have a lot of kind of mid tier. I think I either really like it or I don't rock with it.
It depends on what it is. Like pumpkin would probably be middle. Pumpkin's not a fruit, is it? I don't know.
I don't know. Why would you look at me and ask that?
I don't know, but
I feel like a lot of these, it depends on the situation you're in. If you're eating a scoop of pumpkin ice cream after Thanksgiving dinner, it's probably going to taste like the best thing on earth. But if you're eating a scoop of pumpkin ice cream in like March, like no.
Right.
Why would you do that? It's like, and like with lemon too, like if I'm on a cruise around the Caribbean next year eating a scoop of lemon ice cream, like that's life. That's the good life right there. But if it's January and I'm watching, the NFC Championship game eating a scoop of lemon ice cream, I'm not having a good time.
Right. One of our YouTube comments just now, and this is actually a really fantastic idea. I'm surprised we haven't thought of this. Says we should do a tier list on bands.
Ooh,
I like that. I'm going to put that down. I like that. So thank you, Athen, for that comment.
You've redeemed yourself from the mint chocolate chip opinion.
Yes, you have. All right.
Well done. All right, let's just get chocolate out of the way. Why is chocolate still here?
I don't know. A tier.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be the last thing in A tier for me. It's still good, but I feel like I don't get the only thing I get plain chocolate. I'm not gonna lie to you. The only thing I get plain chocolate, Frosty at Wendy's. Chocolate Frosty at Wendy's. Everything else, it's either chocolate plus something, or I just don't get chocolate in it.
Yeah. And Casey is our resident band aficionado. So if you want to come on for that tier list when we do it, we're more than happy to have you on for that. I know you are more musically involved than I am. But I don't. This is tough. Chocolate for me is A tier, but I would eat strawberry and vanilla before chocolate.
Yeah.
Casey, what are your thoughts on that?
I put chocolate in A just for Shay's peace of mind. I put it just behind cookies and cream.
Okay, that's fair.
Morgan?
I'm going to have to agree with Shay about the Frosty from...
I don't know why I did that.
What is that, Wendy's? No.
Wendy's.
Yeah, Wendy's. That's when I'd only get it.
Chocolate Frosties are iconic.
Yeah. So if you're watching on our YouTube feed, you just saw about 3 or 4 people outside our window go nuts like this. And
what?
So that's part
just
of
our fan club.
So part of the the experience.
We have an autograph signing after the show.
Yeah, we'll be posted up outside the station here if you want to
come see us.
Autographs.
Yeah.
Strawberry cheesecake.
Never had it. Not gonna lie. I'm not a huge cheesecake guy, and a lot of people hate me for that. I don't like it. I think it's too overpowering.
I'm a big cheesecake person. And I would put strawberry cheesecake in C tier. I wouldn't have it as the like my first choice, but it's not bad by any means.
And Parker wasn't lying when he says he's a big cheesecake fan. When he was younger, he used to have like a weird photo collection of cheesecake.
Cheesecake is fantastic, man.
You have pictures of cheesecake?
I did. I had like a file on my computer of food, and cheesecake was in there. Don't ask why. I don't know.
It's coming from a guy that gave himself a fake award.
Don't say that. Morgan, what are your thoughts on strawberry cheesecake?
I think it's, again, the classic, like strawberry cheesecake flavor.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would pick it for ice cream, but definitely love some strawberry cheesecake by itself.
All right, 5 more, gang. We got 4 on the list, and then one I'm going to throw in as a wild card at the end. Blue Moon. Never had the ice cream. If we're ranking the beer, it's S tier. I love Blue Moon, the beer, but Blue Moon, the ice cream, I've never had it.
I've never heard of Blue Moon ice cream before, so can't give an opinion on that.
What do you think of the beer?
I can't give an opinion on that either.
Good call.
I think Blue Moon is also like a children's flavor. I think they like the color of the ice cream.
What
Like
is it?
when
What is it? Just like is it like just a blue color?
I believe so.
Okay, that's interesting.
What about have any of you had the blue ice cream at Kings Island?
No.
That
Yes.
stuff's insane.
That
I
is
haven't had
one
that.
of my favorite
I think they put like crack in that.
Okay. That just took a turn.
It did, didn't
but
it? Welcome to Keep It Real.
yeah, and that's what we do here. We keep it real, and we mention drugs on live radio. But
Pat's out of town.
He's probably still watching us like hawks. But
Nah.
Yeah, bubblegum.
I've never had bubblegum ice cream. I don't think I rock with it. I'd probably put it in D. It's probably pretty similar to cotton candy for me.
Yeah, I haven't had it either. I mean, regular bubblegum, like the ones that come in like the Tootsie Roll wrappers, is great.
You talking about Double Bubble?
Yeah.
That stuff wears off in like 3 minutes.
I know, but it's still good. For that 3 minutes, it's fantastic.
I suppose.
But
you get through like 8 pieces of gum a day.
True.
If you want some bang for your buck, you go Trident.
Right. Casey, thoughts on bubblegum ice cream?
I haven't had it, but I don't imagine it being very good.
Yeah, I know Morgan said that whole fruit kind of thing was lower on your list.
Yeah.
Have you ever had bubblegum ice cream?
I think when I was like younger.
Okay. I probably have too, but I just don't remember.
Maybe I have. I don't remember though.
All right.
Peanut butter and chocolate chip gang. What do you want to do first?
Morgan, what do you want to do first?
Let's do peanut butter.
Okay.
It was on my S tier just because that is what I love. I love peanut butter. I do think it is plain compared to the peanut butter chocolate chip cup, whatever.
Yeah.
But I still think I would choose that over other flavors.
Okay. It's A tier for me.
Okay.
I think peanut butter cup is better than regular peanut butter.
Agreed.
But it's still very good. Okay.
I have it top of B, just because, like I said earlier, peanut butter cup is absolutely elite. But just regular peanut butter is a little too thick for me. Still really good, but I have it in B. But shout out to your dad for recommending that Grand Slam, Red's Grand Slam ice cream. That sounds like, maybe the best ice cream flavor ever made. So for those, I can't remember. Did we read this live on air? I think we did. But
we did.
If you're just now joining us, smooth peanut butter ice cream with peanut butter cups and homemade fudge. Like, does that not sound like just like something you'd like get diabetes for?
I know we've had it at the house, but I've never like I said, I've never had it.
I don't think I'd ever heard of it.
I think it comes out like in March, like right as spring training is getting going. Casey, what are your thoughts on peanut butter ice cream?
I'm with Morgan. I have it at the bottom of S.
Okay. I'm all right with that.
Chocolate chip is also B tier for me because I'm not going to lie to you. Chocolate chip is just kind of underwhelming compared to cookies and cream and cookie dough.
That's fair.
Still good.
Yeah.
If it's just vanilla ice cream with chocolate chips, I mean, it's not
right.
exactly eye-catching.
I have it in A tier, but it's like at the bottom of A tier. I would definitely take cookies and cream or strawberry or vanilla or whatever over it, but I still think it's pretty good. Casey, chocolate chip?
I have chocolate chip in an A above cookies and cream.
Okay.
Just because I like the fact that there's something actually to chew.
That's fair. Texture's
I
a big thing.
understand that.
Texture's a big thing.
Yeah. And that's why I think cookie dough is superior to cookies and cream, because even though you only get 3 cookie dough pieces, I still think it's pretty good. And
my man's takes are as hot as Stephen A. Smith's.
Don't compare me to Stephen A. I don't want to be compared to Stephen A. I hope I'm not as dumb as Stephen A.
I'm just saying, there's one person in this room that's ordered Shohei Ohtani merch, and it's not you.
That's fair. Morgan, thoughts on chocolate chip?
I have it in B tier. I just think it's a classic flavor as well. So cookies and cream and chocolate chip cookie dough definitely beat just normal chocolate chip ice cream.
Right.
Well said. All right, last one, because I'm not from Ohio unless I do this one. I know you two aren't from Ohio, but black raspberry chocolate chip from Grater's is S tier, best flavor Grater's has ever made, and one of the best flavors of ice cream on the planet. Chocolate chunks, black raspberry, perfect balance of sweetness from the fruit, chocolate. Lord have mercy, is that a good flavor of ice cream?
Yeah. And one of our YouTube comments says, "This Casey guy's takes are terrible."
I think you spelled Parker wrong.
Ouch. that one, you struck a chord there. But yeah, I've never had that black raspberry chocolate chip.
There's a Grater's down the road, and I expect you to hit it on your way home.
We'll do our best. I got to hit up.
Morgan, do you have any thoughts on
good.
black raspberry chocolate chip?
I feel like if you're not from around here, it honestly sounds kind of gross, like black raspberry. I don't even know what a black raspberry is, but like just it's very local, I guess. It's definitely one of my favorite flavors.
Okay, I'll have to try that. So is that it? Are we done with that tier list?
That's everything I had.
Yeah, I don't.
All right, well, we're going to step away for a few minutes. When we come back, MLB trade deadline week, baby.
So
the Reds are getting Nick Ahmed.
I'm so excited.
Trevor Story, we don't need him. Nick Ahmed, come on home. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, we'll take a quick break when we come back.
Morgan and Casey, thank you a lot for being on. Really
completely forgot to say that. Thank you both for joining us.
That's why people don't want to come on, because you don't thank them.
Thank you for having us on.
This is honestly probably made us look a lot better than we are, and they probably like these two a lot better than us.
Oh, no doubt. Morgan, I mean, right before we came on, Morgan's like, I don't think I'm going to do very well on radio. And I'm like, well, I mean, I think she did better than us.
She did. It's very, very.
This is something I get paid to do, so that's pathetic.
Very.
That speaks volumes to how how sad and dull my future is.
Yeah, you and me both. So we're gonna take a break. When we come back, we're talking MLB trade deadline, and that the NBA or the U.S. national team completely just fell asleep against France. So. All that and more when we come back on Testa and Neal. Keep it real right here on WWSU 106.9.
Have you noticed lately how empty everything is? Empty streets, empty stores, empty schools. But I'm trying to change these empty times by being full of gratitude. Gratitude means saying thanks to the garbage collector, the medical providers, and all those who are helping every day. Things may appear empty around us, but when we're filled with gratitude, nothing is completely empty inside us. Gratitude is in you. From PassItOn.com.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling on it.
The dad joke. Corny, groan-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
What did the buffalo say when he dropped his son off for school? Bye, son.
So take a moment to make your kid laugh, because dad jokes rule. Make your kid laugh today. Go to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Watch out! You got me!
The galaxy is safe once again.
In the pretend universe, kids play with pretend guns. In the real world, it's up to us to make sure they don't get their hands on a real gun. If you have a gun in the house, keep it locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
The average time a resume spends on an HR manager's desk is 7 seconds, and most of them are tossed aside.
Now imagine if one of those resumes belonged to Yasmin, who was
living in a shelter, juggling 3 jobs. I had to be resilient. That's something that you can't teach.
We rely so much on a resume, yet it could never tell the full story of someone who
had to be independent and take initiative. And that's how I handle every project I get.
Discover new ways to develop great talent at gradsoflife.org. Brought to you by Grads of Life and the Ad Council.
Every day, men and women from communities across this nation serve as Reserve Citizen Airmen.
I am proud to defend our nation.
Proud to be part of a team that helps make a difference.
I am proud to be part of something larger than me and to serve my country.
We celebrate those who have served and those who are proudly serving in the Air Force Reserve. Our mission is to fly, fight, and win in air, space, and cyberspace.
I am proud to be a member. I am proud to protect our...
Proud to serve in the U.S. Air Force Reserve.
Every day, men and women from communities across this nation serve as Reserve Citizen Airmen.
I am proud to defend our nation.
Proud to be part of a team that helps make a difference.
I am proud to be part of something larger than me.
We celebrate those who have served and those who are proudly serving in the Air Force Reserve. Our mission is to fly, fight, and win in air, space, and cyberspace.
I am proud to be a member. I am proud to protect our...
Proud to serve in the U.S. Air Force Reserve.
AFReserve.com.
Social distancing slows the spread of coronavirus. So if you have a fever, dry cough, and shortness of breath, call your healthcare provider before going in. More info at coronavirus.gov. Let's all do our part because we're all #AloneTogether. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
What can I possibly do to make this stressful time a little better? Here's one thing I found. It's a small thing, a simple thing, a remarkable thing. Smile. You can share a smile from more than 6 feet apart. You can share it socially with the whole world. In fact, right now, I'm smiling at you. And I hope you're smiling back because smiling is in you from passiton.com.
Tom has been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. And I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. I was really starting to worry.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
If you love them enough to barely sleep, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure they're in the right car seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
My mother was very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign and she wasn't even really sure where she was at.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone. Done. By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online. Learn more simple disaster prep tips at ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Dad, I picked up your pills, made your lunch, and your laundry is done.
When you care for a loved one, you take care of everything. But are you taking care of yourself? Find free care guides at aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
How do airplanes fly? What's in this box? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Learn how to store your gun securely and make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
Melissa from Michigan. I work an extra part-time job serving lunch at my child's school, but I still can't afford to put food on our table.
Daniel from California. Choosing whether to pay the rent or pay to fix the car to get to work doesn't leave us with much at all. Now we can't even pay for meals.
Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
To some, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much, but that's not true. They're testing out vowels and consonants and trying different sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on meaning, especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Learn more at autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
If you love them enough to listen to them practice the same song on tuba,
please be done.
over and over and over and over and over, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Sounds good, honey.
Check today at NHTSA.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. If you love them enough to sit through their favorite boy band with them, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I asked what kind of family she wanted. She said, a family like yours.
Learn more about adopting a teen at adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
For those fortunate enough to help the person
Hey, what's
who has
going on?
always been their hero, AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help at aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by
Play your cards right, you could be the next big thing.
You have symptoms of fever, dry cough, and shortness of breath. Call your healthcare provider before going to their office. For more info, visit coronavirus.gov.
Let's all do our part, because we're all #alone together. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
If you love them enough to turn off your music and pretend like their music is your music,
this is Mommy's jam.
then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at NHTSA.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
College Radio Day, let's go.
You are listening to WWSU 106.9 FM, Wright State University. Across this state, across this country, across this continent, today, right now, college radio is united. This is College Radio Day.
You are listening to Testa and Neal. Keep it real right here on Dayton's Right Choice, WWSU 106.9 FM.
What's going on? It's Kev Nash from Hot 102.9 and 1410 Wing AM. And did I mention I'm a WWSU alum? You're hanging out with my guys, Testa and Neal, as they keep it real right here on Dayton's Right Choice.
So great. Kev's so great.
That's the best back two we have.
No doubt about it.
It's awesome. And we appreciate Kev for doing that.
Kev Nash. And as soon as we're done here today, I mean, you can listen on your drive back. I can listen live from the office. The Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash, 3 to 6 on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Yeah,
they do a great job.
They do. It's a lot of fun, and it's pretty much Justin getting roasted, and it's fun to watch.
And he knows that, and I think Kev knows that, and they've just kind of embraced it.
Yes.
But I mean, it's fun. It's fun quality roasting time, and
it's kind of like this show.
Yeah, pretty much. This is the Walmart version of the Justin Kinner Show.
Yeah.
Great value Justin Kinner Show.
So anyway, I said thanks you. Wow. Thank you.
You also called Morgan Mark.
I'm having a rough day. I'm a little rusty. But thank you for joining us. However you may be listening or watching, if you're on YouTube or WWSU 106.9 FM, we greatly appreciate it. We're having a lot of fun today.
As your mom said, I don't know what ice cream has to do with sports, but okay.
Yeah.
That's basically like every single bit of criticism we've gotten about this show. I don't know what fill in the blank here has to do with sports, but okay.
Yeah, yeah. And that's, I mean, we've done, sodas, fast food joints so far.
Bands, movies.
We're going to do bands, we're going to do movies at some point. So this is not an entirely a show entirely about sports.
Staff members.
Yeah, we could do that one as well.
That's not a good idea.
It is not. No.
But it wouldn't. We would get sad as it wouldn't be our worst idea.
No, we wouldn't get it. We would get ourselves in a lot of trouble around the office with that. But baseball, MLB trade deadline is coming up, and I'm so excited. We have there's rumors that the Padres are going to trade Eric Hosmer. And it wouldn't be a bad idea because, like you said earlier, they're going to move Cronenworth to first after trading for Adam Frazier, and Frazier's going to play second base. But
I read something funny yesterday. Frazier obviously traded from the Pirates to the Padres. We'll get into that deal here in a second. But this Padres fan was like, what are we going to do with Adam Frazier? Like, we have Cronenworth at second, Hosmer at first. Like, where's he going to go? And everyone's like, we're going to move Cronenworth to first and play Frazier at second. And they're like, I don't know. This guy just doesn't feel like – he feels like a Walmart version of Profar. And then the same dude responds and says, no, Frazier's Target Profar. Profar is Walmart Profar.
People should not.
How are you defending Jerks and Profar?
He's the one good player the Pirates have had all year.
Well, Brian Reynolds has also been a stud.
That's true.
And Cabrian Hayes has
been good as well. And they've had like one decent.
But I get what you're saying.
Right. And they've had like one decent pitcher. But other than that.
JT Brubaker, baby, the Cincinnati kid.
Right. And that's not anything to brag about because the Pirates are awful. But I will give them credit. They are better than I expected. And so this is, I'm not sure what's going to be, what's going to come of Hosmer, where he might end up.
I just don't understand the logic behind somebody who claims to be a baseball fan, that watches baseball and enjoys it, thinking that Adam Frazier, who just started in the All-Star game, is Walmart Profar. Yeah. Like, you're going to Costco now with Adam Frazier.
Yeah, I don't get this at all.
That's the second MLB player on this show that I've compared to Costco this summer, if you're keeping track.
So the Padres acquire Adam Frazier from the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Really a good deal from both sides.
It is.
I don't really know much about the three prospects that the Pirates got, but I did a little bit of research on what Passan said. One, the top guy that they got was the Padres' number 5 prospect. Let me get this pulled up. I should have had it ready, but he only hit like 220 in like 50 at-bats in San Diego this year. And his name is, I'm going to butcher this, I think it's Tucapita Marcano. But Marcano only hit like 550 or 550 OPS in the majors this year, but he has like an 850 OPS in AAA. Really good contact hitter, good defender. He plays shortstop, second base. So really, what the Pirates are hoping for here is that this guy turns into Adam Frazier. And they basically traded a year and a half of Adam Frazier for this guy who they have 6 years of. And I like that. I like that ideology. And they also get Jack Sawinski, who is not on the top 30 prospects for the Padres, but he has a 950 OPS this year in AA. A lot of pop, hitting the ball really hard this year. Outfielder, athletic, really a strong swing. So I like taking a chance on him because he's had a really strong year. And then also a guy, the third player is right-handed pitcher Michel Miliano. And he's also a guy that we don't know a lot about, Parker, but this guy gets strikeouts at a really high rate. 59 strikeouts in 30 innings. He's only in high A ball, but strikeouts play at any level. So I think that, honestly, I know the Pirates are a meme. They trade all their good talent. They're going nowhere. They're in the basement all the time. I think they did pretty good in this trade. I think they got 3 really intriguing players.
They did. And here's one that's interesting to me. What are the Mets going to do?
Get Bryant.
I think they're going to go after more pitchers.
That's fair.
Because outside of DeGrom and
DeGrom's been on and off the IL all year.
Right. They have really not much else. Of course they have, a few other guys like Carlos Carrasco, among others, but they've been underwhelming, to say the least. They're still leading the division, but it hasn't been pretty by any means.
Yep.
So do they go after a guy like Max Scherzer? Do they go after...
I think they want Scherzer. I don't know if the Nats trade Scherzer to a team in the division.
Yeah,
I think if the Mets want a pitcher, they got Rich Hill. He's actually supposed to start. He started yesterday. I don't know how he did. But he's actually, ironically, going to be the first pitcher to wear the black alternates on Friday night. The Mets are bringing back their black jerseys, and Rich Hill's the pitcher on Friday night. So their newest pitcher is going to be the first pitcher to wear the blacks, which is funny. But really, I think the perfect fit for this Mets team. And it didn't do them any favors because this team's red hot right now, and I don't know if they're going to want to sell. Matthew Boyd, Detroit Tigers. DeGrom, You have Carrasco who's banged up, but he could potentially come back. You have Syndergaard who's planning on coming back. You have, but your top lefties right now are 41-year-old Rich Hill and David Peterson, who has decent stuff, but has gotten rocked quite a bit this year. I think you need a really strong lefty to complement DeGrom and Syndergaard in the middle of that rotation. I think Matthew Boyd to the Mets makes a ton of sense, and he wouldn't cost to get what Scherzer would cost to get.
No, and, speaking of Rich Hill, he had a quality start yesterday. Went 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks.
If you can get that out of Rich Hill, that's all they want out of him.
Right, and he's seemingly ageless.
This is like his 13th.
It's a nasty curveball.
So good.
So I'm a big Rich Hill fan. But here's another one. The Marlins look like they're going to be sellers. They're shopping Marte, Duvall, and some of their relievers. So
Marte could go to the Yankees. I know they want a center fielder. I think personally he goes to Houston. I know Houston wants a center fielder as well. They're playing Miles Straw out there right now. But Jordan as the DH, Brantley in left, Kyle Tucker in right, Starling Marte in center, makes one of the best teams in the league even better.
The team I'm keeping an eye on, the Angels.
Okay.
I'm really intrigued to see how they handle their pitching
to left
situation.
When Trout comes back?
Oh, I'm not even talking about Marte.
I'm
just talking about what the heck are they going to do about their pitching situation?
Yeah.
Because they need relievers badly. And
I bet they're
and outside of Ohtani and maybe Bundy, you don't have any other starters.
I bet they're in on Scherzer talks, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if they also call, the Cubs about like pitchers like Hendricks or Davies, or even relievers like Chafin or Kimbrel. What I really want to see, and I don't want to see this, but what I'd be really interested in seeing is starting pitchers are so valuable right now. Do the Reds really believe that they can make a run this year? Or do they want to take advantage of pitchers being at an all-time high value-wise and maybe dump Castillo for, a king's ransom?
Yeah. And
Castillo's right now, over the last month and a half, Castillo's the hottest pitcher in baseball. He's pitching to like a 1.43 ERA.
A guy who has had a lot of talks around him is Jose Barrios. And, there's rumors of the Padres. There's rumors of the Dodgers. But I would really love to see the Angels get in on Barrios, because I think he would bring something to their rotation that they really don't have. And they need pitchers any way they can get them. Offense isn't the issue for the Angels. Of course, they got out to a really hot start to start the year, but they've kind of fallen back to earth here. And I know they're hovering around the 500 mark, but yeah, that's what's your here. I'm going to ask you this, and I'm curious your thoughts. What's your team to watch? Because mine's the Angels, but I'm curious what yours
the Brewers.
is. The Brewers, okay.
Brewers or the Mariners.
Okay.
I think the Mariners have a lot of really controllable assets, and they have a really bright future, but they're playing really well. We saw them interested in Whit Merrifield. I think that'd be an awesome fit in Seattle. I think he's a great veteran leader to have for guys like Kelnick, Julio Rodriguez, Evan White, Dylan Moore. It's a really talented young team, and you have guys like Seager and Merrifield holding it down. Mitch Haniger. Everyone thought before the year, Mitch Haniger would be traded at the deadline. They might extend Mitch Haniger with how well he's played. I mean, he looks like he could be, the new face of new competitive Mariners. But I wouldn't be surprised. A guy that I'm really interested to see, and I think the Brewers and the Mariners could both make a move for this guy, Jose Ramirez. Yeah. Really team-friendly contract. Indians, Guardians, whatever you want to call them, they aren't going anywhere. Do they give up Jose Ramirez, get top tier prospects for him, and he could play, 3-4 years of a contract with Seattle, with Milwaukee, and I think he'd be a perfect fit for either of those teams, because right now the Brewers really, really good, but they're missing two things: first base and third base.
Right.
You put Jose Ramirez at third base, that's one problem very, very solved at a very high level.
Yeah, and one thing I want to talk about here before the end of the show here, Aaron Rodgers likely to stay with Green Bay.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people got nervous when it came out a couple days ago that Vegas sports books were raising the odds of him retiring. And everyone was like, "Oh no, do they know something that we don't?" And that's always kind of the case. It seems like Vegas tries to make as much money as they possibly can. Obviously, that's how it works. But my selfish opinions is I think it's a good thing. I don't want to see one of the most talented players in the NFL walk away right after an MVP season.
Yeah.
I think the Packers are Super Bowl contenders with Aaron Rodgers on that roster, with Devontae Adams on that roster. That defense, not the best in the league, but by far not the worst. I mean, it's a solid defense. They have, Devontae Adams. Maybe they're looking for a new number 2 receiver, but I like Allen Lazard a lot. 6'5", has good size, decent speed for a guy that big, very physical. So you have Adams, the route runner. You have Lazard as kind of the deep threat. Valdez-Scantling as well. A guy that really emerged last year was Robert Tonyan. And then they have Aaron Jones coming back.
Yeah.
I think this Packers team, a lot of people, and obviously I think the Bucs are the team to beat, defending champs, Tom Brady. But I think, if you told me top teams in the NFC, the 3 teams that come to mind for me, Packers, Bucs, and probably Rams.
Yeah, I'm with you. And this, this is an article from, Rob Demovsky, the Packers senior writer for ESPN. And he said the Green Bay Packers haven't said whether they think Aaron Rodgers will show up Tuesday when veteran players report to camp, but they talked Monday and they believe there's a chance that he's going to play for the season. Their GM, Brian Gutekunst, said, "We've been working tirelessly with Aaron and his representation to resolve the issues he has raised this offseason, and we remain hopeful for positive resolution."
I love David Bakhtiari so much. I just looked up the Aaron Rodgers on Twitter. I just typed Aaron Rodgers on Twitter, and Bakhtiari. So this story comes out from Rappaport. Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers has indicated to people close to him that he does plan to play for Green Bay this season. That is the expectation. Many factors at play, but with GM Brian Gutekunst saying that he's hopeful for a positive outcome, there's a glimmer of optimism. David Bakhtiari retweeted that and said, "Wow, guess we aren't close people, Aaron Rodgers."
I love it. The shots of David Bakhtiari and his dad chugging a beer at the NBA Finals was
Bakhtiari is
great.
slowly becoming my favorite non-Bengal in the NFL. He's hilarious.
He's great. So this was a great show today.
This was really fun.
I'm itching to get back here,
Yeah.
and it's just a few more weeks, and then we'll have shows every day for y'all, like we normally do. I know we had a week hiatus last week. I was out of town, but we're back.
Totally.
We're back, and I think we're better than ever. Hopefully.
Well, that's out for debate. But yeah, I'm excited to be here, and excited to get back to normal. I mean, we have coming up pretty soon. Fall Fest students come back to campus. First weekend. Take flights coming up here soon too. I'm excited. It's been fun to get kind of ahead of the game this summer and kind of start the new regime. But now I'm ready for people to see the new regime, and I think we're ready too. So it's been a blast. But and one of the best things about people coming back to college in August means we're closing in on football season. NFL, college football, right around the corner, baby.
I'm so excited.
Including Wright State Club football, which I'm hyped for.
Yes.
They look like a really good football team this year.
They do. I'm excited to get out and call those games. It's going to be a great year. I'm really excited.
I'm excited to reach out to Nick and the rest of the athletic department, like maybe even like next week. I know some of the athletes have already started moving back on campus for training and practices and stuff. I just had a stroke on air. Practices and stuff. And I'd love to get them in studio.
Yeah.
And, kind of pick their brain a little bit before the season starts.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. So with that, that's our show today, everybody. Thanks for sticking around until the very end. I know we lost a couple after our ice cream tier list, which is understandable.
Morgan left.
Morgan left, and we're not as entertaining as she is. But yeah, so we can't thank you enough for listening out there to y'all. Whether you're on YouTube or listening to us on WWSU 106.9, we so greatly appreciate it. Shea, any final thoughts before we wrap up this Monday?
No, it's just really fun to do it live in studio. I look forward to doing it, more. Obviously we're back every day this week, so I'm excited for that. We still have college football coming out this week on Wednesday. We're going to try to do the I don't know. I'd have to look.
We'll figure it out.
We'll
figure
it
out.
I know we have 3 big conferences left: ACC, Big Ten, and SEC. So we'll figure it out. But I'm really excited, and we still got to talk about Texas and Oklahoma might be going to the SEC next year.
Yeah.
Next year.
So that's another
Oklahoma,
story.
Alabama, the new rivalry in college football.
Yeah, that's a new story that just came out over the weekend. But we better get off the air here so Pat doesn't scream at us. But thank you all for listening, everybody. For Shea Neal across the desk from me, I'm Parker Testa, saying so long on this Monday. And